Assalamualaikum and good day. I will be presenting about cost and schedule overruns in mega sporting events, focusing on the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. First of all, my name is Nurul Aida Izzati Johar. Paris hosted the Olympics from 26 July to 11 August 2024. This was Paris' third time hosting after 1900 and 1924. Paris 2024 was very ambitious. There were 10,500 athletes, 32 sports, and the organizers aimed to make it the first climate-positive Olympics. Mega events bring benefits like tourism, jobs, and infrastructure. But they're also difficult to manage because of many stakeholders and very large budgets. Past Olympics had cost overruns and delays, and Paris still faces rising costs, schedule pressure, and construction challenges. Based on analysis, there are 5 main issues in Paris 2024 that led to cost and schedule pressures. I will explain them one by one. Scope creep happens because the sustainability plans kept changing. Paris wanted the greenest Olympics, so they added more eco-friendly feathers. Each time they changed the requirement, contractors had to redo designs and change materials even after work had already started. So this scope creep was not about luxury, it was because of constant environmental improvements. This shows that unclear scope at the beginning causes redesign, delays, and higher costs. For the Olympics, the opening date cannot change. No matter what happens, the game must start on time. This creates very strong schedule pressure. For example, La Défense Arena was a rugby stadium and had to be changed into a swimming arena in only 36 days. So workers had to rush, work longer hours, and do tasks at the same time instead of one by one. When time is too tight, project teams use fast tracking and crash scheduling, meaning more workers, overtime, faster delivery, and higher costs. Then, risk management in the beginning was not accurate. The budget was £6.8 billion, but this was too optimistic. They did not expect high inflation, expensive raw materials, and unstable post-COVID supply chains. Security risk was also underestimated. As terrorism threat increased, security costs had to rise from €295 million to €400 million. Procurement delays also made things worse. Some tenders were awarded late, which shortened delivery time. When schedule is compressed, prices go up because suppliers charge more for urgent orders. Cyber risks were also underestimated. Cybersecurity contracts with companies like Atos and Cisco were awarded very late, and late cybersecurity procurement is always more expensive. Paris 2024 involves the IOC, the French government, local councils, and private contractors. When too many parties are involved, decision-making becomes slow and communication becomes complicated. This contributed to schedule delays and cost impacts. Lastly, the games carried strong environmental promises, especially the Seine River cleanup for open water swimming. Pollution and rainfall overflow were underestimated, and this required major technical upgrades to wastewater system, UV treatment, and stormwater handling, which led to higher installation and operational costs. At the same time, venues had to be designed for post-game reuse, not temporary use. This legacy requirement added extra planning costs. So both environmental ambitions and legacy commitments increased costs beyond the original budget. As a result, costs increased significantly. Paris' final cost grew from €6.8 billion to €9.0 billion, which is about 32% higher. Security spending also increased from €295 million to €400 million, which is about 35% higher. The Seine River cleanup alone exceeded €1.4 billion. According to the data, Paris 2024 reached 115% of the yearly cost estimate, and globally the average cost overrun for mega events is around 172%. So, Paris is not an exception. It follows the same pattern where fixed deadlines, slow procurement, and late risk responses increase costs, especially in security, cyber defense, and environmental upgrades. To manage Paris 2024 challenges, several actions can be taken. For scope creep, break the work into clear parts, control change properly, and track cost versus progress. For tight deadlines, identify critical tasks, fast tracks when possible, and prepare a time buffer. For risk issues, keep a risk list, analyze impact, and monitor risk regularly. For many stakeholders, assign clear rules, have a central PMO, and hold frequent alignment meetings. For environmental targets, do impact studies early. Set extra budget for sustainability, and use lessons learned to improve future decisions. London 2012 is a top example of cost control, spotting risk early and using strong governance to ensure accountability. They set a £2.7 billion contingency fund and used strict change control and regular meetings to keep the project on track. Legacy planning was done from the start, such as converting the Olympic Park into Queen Elizabeth's Olympic Park, which minimized waste and future costs. Thanks to these measures, London 2012 state, which is £9.3 billion budget and is a top example of controlling costs while creating a long-time value. In conclusion, Paris 2024 shows that big events are very likely to face cost and schedule problems. Main causes include scope creep, tight deadlines, poor risk planning, many stakeholders, and environmental requirements. Weak project management leads to higher costs, delays, and last-minute spending. But strong practices like keeping risk registers, controlling chains, and good governance can reduce these problems.